Hey folks, speaking to you from beautiful Lake Erie today.
My example's not unrealistic.
I think that
If your answer, I'm going to save my time. If your answer is going to be that never happens, let me go to Ms. Fry. What do you think?
Well, Senator, first of all, if you don't ask a question if you don't want to know the answer.
Well, didn't Senator Cornpone ever learn in law school that you're not supposed to ask a question if you don't want to hear the answer or you don't know it? Yeah, Senator John Kennedy, by the way, there should be a law that he can't use that name. He got his ass handed to him. And the first witness handed him his ass, and then, of course, he just cut their time off and went to the second one thinking he'd get a better response, and man, did she hand it to him. And the thing is that you should know more about Senator John Kennedy. We'll get to the specifics, and I'm going to show you the longer part of the clip. But three things about Senator Kennedy, which will explain to you why he is such an utter fraud. First one is, he talks like this. He talks like a good Southern lawyer, but he wasn't educated in Oxford, Mississippi, like Jethro from the Clampetts. He was educated in Oxford, as in Oxford, England. Yeah, he's a Rhodes Scholar. The whole thing's an act, the whole Southern accent. Second thing is, Senator Kennedy was a Democrat. Yeah, just like the guy he's named after, he can't live up to.
Michael Bolton?
That's me.
Wow, is that your real name?
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that name.
There was nothing wrong with it until I was about 12 years old and that no-talent ass clown became famous and started winning Grammys.
He decided to switch parties when he was an elected state treasurer. That's right. He had folks who were his friends with in Louisiana who had helped mentor him. Senator John Breaux of Louisiana, who is a former Democratic senator from there. So what did he do? He switched parties so he could run for the U.S. Senate. And like others who blazed that path before him, Dick Shelby of Alabama, he didn't just become a moderate. He went straight from being a Democrat who embraced the majority of Democratic positions to a right-wing, ass-kissing Republican, because they don't care about anything but power. So now he's become one of the worst of the guys who lie about the election, lie about welfare programs, lie about guns in our country, and yeah, lies about abortion too. This honestly cannot be repeated enough times, okay? 1% of abortions in this country happen after the 21st week. And when women get an abortion late, it's not, oh, I woke up this morning, I'm not feeling much like having a kid. The attack on women, just by saying acting like women are these stupid baby receptacles, is so Republican. It's amazing.
You girls will serve the leaders and their barren wives.
No, after 21 weeks, it's women that end up having babies where they know they are already stillborn. They will be stillborn. Women will die from birth or go through egregious health issues. That's that 1% afterwards, but of course Republicans lie about that. You know what percent of abortions are before 15 weeks? Yeah, 95%. You don't hear Senator Cornpone tell you that because he went from Democrat to Republican and became a goddamn motherfucking liar. And that's all he's been since. But you want to know the real thing, the third part about him. Worse than both others? Probably. But definitely very true. We have the 4th of July coming up, folks. It's a time where we celebrate our independence from an autocracy. Well, on that date, in 2018, Senator Kennedy was one of the 6, 7, 8 Republicans that went and celebrated our 4th of July at the Kremlin. He went and bowed before Putin. Honestly, who the does that? Who goes and visits a vicious autocratic leader who makes sure that people somehow get vertigo when they have hotel rooms on the 5th floor and magically fall out the window or off of their patios to their death? Who does that? To a guy who's invaded another country. He'd already gone into Crimea when Senator Kennedy went over there. And worst of all, attacked our election, which about 15 other allied intelligence services confirmed. It's done. It happened. He attacked our voting. They stole our polling through Paul Manafort. Well, he handed it over to them. They knew who to target and how to target them, and they helped Donald Trump win the election. Who the fuck, after they meddled in our election, goes over there and kisses Putin's ass? John Kennedy, that's who.
Should the mother, at that juncture, have the right, clearly a viable child, to abort the child? My example's not unrealistic.
I think that
If your answer, I'm gonna save my time, if your answer is gonna be that never happens, let me go to Ms. Fry. What do you think?
Well, Senator, first of all, if you don't ask a question if you don't want to know the answer. And I think 1%, but I'm saying to you, Senator, 1% of abortions happen at 21 weeks or later. So I think the premise of your question sets up a conversation about abortion that is unfair. It is rarely is that ever the instance. The vast majority of pregnancies and abortions that are considered late in a pregnancy have to do with severe, devastating medical circumstances. And I understand your point, Senator. I understand your point. But with all due respect, I also think the chances of people sort of getting all the way through a pregnancy and just sort of saying, I don't want it, is disrespectful to women.